Alright, so patch. That's not a lot of likes, that's a lot of comments. Vespa, did you just get ratioed on your patch notes? Oh dear god. Alright, I don't want to really analyze these one by one. I've kind of already gone through them with a couple of buddies. Let me sum this up as best I can. None of these none of these changes enable the hero to perform in content they always otherwise already weren't able to perform in. None of these are going to allow any heroes to become meta in PvP. None of them are going to become meta in any PvE scoring content. Some heroes got some slight increases of they kind of need. I'd say the three winners I would say would be Theo, Crow, just for simplicity that all his damage is on S3, and Lilia. Everyone else got shit and garbage. What a fucking joke. Like, alright, let me just. I'll talk about a couple of these, just kind of show my thoughts on this. So, like, Roy, increasing the attack by 200%. This is the flat attack increase that he gets. This isn't you're getting 200% additional attack. As in, you're like a percentage buff. Like, Fallen Prey gives 30%, Ray Hardening gives 30%. It's not like that. They're increasing the flat attack that Roy gets from his S2 by 200%. Flat attack is just not good anymore because the attack stats for every hero in the age of A2 soul weapons is too high. And Vespa, at some point, you are going to add S3. We know you're going to do it. We don't want you to, but you're going to do it because you're just greedy dipshits. So that's going to make this even more worthless. 10% damage increase. Okay, it's only up 10 out of 15 seconds. So 10% up damage increase some of the time? Eh. This mana effect is kind of whatever. Making Kalu more tanky when he already is built tanky because nothing on him scales. He gets plenty of heal from his S2 already. Nothing on his S3 scales, and you don't give a crap about the damage on his S1. So he only needs to be built tanky. So just making him more tanky. Okay, great. Doesn't change any issues that Kalu has in any content or anything that he's used. I guess it's for PvP. Miruru, most of this is probably for PvP because Miruru and Nyx have been falling out of favor. Oh, and Nyx is on the patch too because I guess you just want to keep them being PvP cancer that players just don't like to deal with. So you're just increasing their damage because people have been using them less. You want to see them used more because you guys love Arena just being AIDS and full of cancer. And you can't let Miruru and Nyx finally be pushed out. No, you gotta buff them, try to keep them relevant. Though, honestly, I don't think these damage increases are gonna really enable or change their situation. Reyna, small damage increase. She can self-cleanse with S2, but it's a 15-second cooldown. If I remember correctly. Yeah, I think it's a 15-second cooldown. Double check. Where's Reyna? There she was. 20-second cooldown. So 20 seconds she can self-cleanse herself once. Great, wonderful. What content does that help her in? PvP, maybe? I don't see it helping in any other content. And again, doesn't enable her to perform in any content she otherwise already wasn't performing in. Basically removing the Rodinia, basically removing her S3 light and basically incorporating it without the crit condition into her S3 already, so just reducing the cooldown so you don't have to take that perk all the time. Instead you get a perk, increase mana cost by 1, and changes the targets to 2, so now you can hit 2 targets. This might be interesting on Wool Boss 3 when she can tag 2 of the 3 targets. but it's going to make her really RNG because you want to hit the same target as much as possible to ramp up the damage. I don't think it's going to make her a World Boss 3 viable. She's going to be pretty painful in PvP. She was already sniping off individual targets, now she's going to be hitting 2 people at once. That's a double damage increase for Rodina in PvP. Every other content, though, again, this doesn't really change anything for her. So you're trying to push Rodina into some sort of PvP hero now. That's weird. Luisia, you increase the damage increase effect from her S4 stacks on her skill 1, 2, and 3. So this should help her damage output, but you also lowered the stacks, so it should only be roughly about a 20% damage increase based on the math. Problem is, you don't mention this. This isn't mentioned in the notes. Maybe you changed this, maybe you didn't. By reducing the stacks for her S4, you are reducing the damage dealt by her S4 because her S4 has a dot component. It deals damage over time. The higher the stacks, the more damage it deals. If you didn't change the numbers on this, you just nerfed her S4. You may have just Aisha'd Luisia. You know, that hero you nerfed. Well, you quote unquote buffed, but actually nerfed 4 months ago. You may have just done it again. Good job, Vespa. You don't understand your game. Own game. Jesus fucking Christ, you people are fucking stupid. Nyx, again, trying to push him to be relevant in PvP again. Tanya, meme. Like, these changes are retarded. Jumping to a priest who gives a shit. You want to kill the enemy DPS. Killing the enemy priest doesn't help you half the time. If their DPS is just going to kill your team. Or worse, yes, they jump on and kill your Tanya while you're dicking around with the priest. Theo, again, I said he actually kind of got some decent changes because removed his self mana penalty, made it so he no longer takes additional damage during his S2 dark perk. So like they actually did some decent changes for Theo. I don't think this is gonna make him relevant because this doesn't really. I don't think this really is gonna affect his actual damage output mostly. We'll see. I mean, maybe some Theo mains have some more input on this, but I don't think this is as big a change as the wording makes it out to be. Visca, slight damage increase on her S2, but Visca's already not known for damage output, so this isn't going to help her be a damage dealer in any stretch of the imagination. She's not still one of the worst performing warriors in Earth Trial. That's not going to change. The heal reduction effect is, I guess, it's a nice bonus, but I mean that's pretty small change, and that's only very situationally useful, like in Galgoria or. Yeah, that'd be about it. Galgoria is the only thing I think it'd be useful for, because it's S2, it only hits a single target. Crow, S3 damage increase. Okay, that's a buff, and it's not much, but I mean it's something. I don't think Crow's gonna ever out damage Panzeron on any meaningful content from that change, but okay. Shmilla changed really wonky. I'm not too familiar with her playstyle. I know she's meant for PvP. Again, this doesn't broaden her. She's not able to perform in any PvE content from any of these changes. And her PvP performance is probably mostly going to be unchanged. I don't see anything in these notes significant to her that's going to change her performance in PvP. Lily got decent buffs, increased damage, free crit so she can stack more MP sec and more damage when she has soul weapon active. Decent change, but I don't think we're going to see Lilia high scoring in any content or anything soon from this. This isn't enough to change that. Bullshit changes for Grisha. Who gives a shit how much damage she does in blue light or green light? If you're actually trying to do damage or in the red light, like this is retarded. Like this isn't going to improve her damage output in any meaningful way. The additional silence time's nice, I guess. It was always kind of weird having only 1 second silent, because that's such a short silence for a skill that is either a 16 or 11-second cooldown, depending if you're using UT2. So, very short silence on such a long cooldown. It's kind of wonky, but it's there. Scarlet, really awkward. You'd have to hit roughly 100 times to apply the max amp, like 100 auto attacks. That takes quite a while to do. So that's pretty laughable. You can make it undispellable with a perk. And that's mostly just for PvP, I guess. But 30% amp is kind of it's not a huge change. Attack speed down on S2 is kind of nice. That'll be annoying in PvP. But I don't think it's significant. Changing the CC resist to attack speed. Do people really need attack speed that bad? I mean, people still use CC resist in Arena, so I don't... This is like a side grade, this isn't even necessarily a full improvement. And Hilda will now have Void Frenzy on longer, so she'll be able to just use S4 Dark, and doesn't have to take S3 Light for any content now. Unless you just are worried about Void Frenzy being dispelled. But she can stay in her ability to ignore block longer and deal boss damage with S4 Dark. That's kind of nice. She's still clunky, still terrible. Feels bad to use. Nobody likes her. What a joke of a hero. And you basically retconned your story to try to force her into the game. So good job with that, Vespa. You dipshits. You people don't know what the fuck you're doing. 16 heroes, only 3 of these changes are even remotely meaningful, and by meaningful I mean just minor improvements. Not a single one of these changes to any of these heroes improves their performance to allow them to be even close to meta, or allows them to perform in content that they previously couldn't perform in. So as far as my grade of balance performance, this is a big fat fucking failure. This is why I don't make I haven't made any videos in like a week. And this is why. It's because you people don't know what the fuck you're doing. If you want to talk to somebody, talk to people who actually make content and understand your game. Speak to people that actually understand the mechanics and figure this shit out, or your game's gonna fucking die, you dumbasses. I know I'm rude. Sorry for the coarse language. I'm former Navy. I curse like a sailor because I am a sailor, okay? But understand, my frustration is at a regard of observing complete and utter incompetence. You guys don't have any plans for any of these heroes. Like, what was the purpose of any of these changes? You didn't improve their performance in any content meaningfully. 3 of the heroes probably got a minor increase in content that they can do already. That'd be Lilia, Crow, and Theo. Everyone else got meme changes or barely any changes. This is such a joke. Like, there's no point in raising any of these heroes. Like, you're just like, why raise any of these 16 heroes from these changes? None of these changes on any of these 16 heroes screams to me, ooh, I want to build this hero now. Let me start saving some unique weapons, UT tickets, start saving some soul fragments for soul weapons. Not one of these screams to me like, oh, this is like, I really want to build this hero now. Not one, out of 16, you fucking failed all 16. Jesus fucking Christ.